back in the stew. It's been a while because I think we've just been really busy and I have no other excuse.
Well, we've also not been in the same place for a while.
Yeah, that was part of being really busy.
Uh-oh.
Where have you been? You were in Boston. I was in LA.
Around. I was just in Boston for a while.
You were.
Like
How was
2 weeks.
Boston?
It was nice. Yeah, so I was home in Boston for like 10-ish days, like almost 2 weeks. I was there to hang with my dad while our dad.
Fine.
I always do that. Our dad. While our mom was actually doing some pretty cool stuff that I think we want to talk a little bit about today. Our mom was down in DC. She was doing like sort of a combination of things, but she was basically doing some great stuff with the Brain Tumor Society.
The National Brain Tumor
Association or society? I think it's society.
NATL. No,
it is society.
That's national. Oh, shit.
It's national. Okay. We were both right.
Yeah.
National Brain Tumor Society.
Well, because I was like, oh, the Brain Tumor Society. And she was like, national.
Yes, so that's, I'm fearful to even explain what she was doing because I know I will get some of the details wrong and she's
detail-oriented.
Very detail-oriented. But anyway, I'll try my best, Mom. Apologies if I don't get everything right. We'll have to take you on here to correct us soon. But basically, she was down there. First, she ran a 5K. She ran the entire thing like a boss-ass bitch. Really fast, really speedy. I don't think I could do that. And
she's an athlete.
I know. Well, she started her running journey again right now.
I know.
And now she's biking. She called me on the bike the other day. And I was like, maybe don't bike and talk. She can do it all.
She's a good multitasker.
She is.
She can do it all. She's an octopus.
But anyway, the octopus was in DC. And so she ran this 5K. Her sisters joined her, which is super cute. And one of her best friends from high school, right?
Yeah, her best friend from high school.
So they all ran, which is amazing. It was like raining. They did it anyway. It was great. And then
I feel like every time Mom runs a 5K for like a charity, it's always raining. And I feel like it's just like added drama.
It's so
She's
drama.
Like, oh, and then I went in the rain and I like raised the money in the rain. Like it's really, it's a whole other layer. Like, but I like it.
Biking in the rain. Like, it's cool. It's dramatic.
That's what it feels like.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
So she was there. And then basically for the next few days, she was actually serving as like an advocate for specifically like with the National Brain Tumor Society as well. But like going all through Congress, all on Capitol Hill, really going and meeting Congress people.
Yeah, I think, well, a big reason why this is a bigger issue than it's been in the past is because the federal funding has been cut really significantly. I read a stat earlier this morning, actually, that since Trump has been in
office,
which I'm still struggling to wrap my head around. Since he's been in the office, just cancer funding overall has been slashed by 30%. Like he's done that in just a few months.
It's also just like a lot of medical funding too.
Yeah, well, exactly. And with like RFK's, all of his stuff, and I don't want to speak out of turn politically because I'm not as up to speed as I want to be on this stuff. I just know it from the vacuums that I listen to it in. But that said, like there was just a major pause on any sort of federal funding for any sort of cancer research or research in general while they were like, quote, figuring it out. But that's now months and months and months lost of funds that like are really, really close to finding cures and treatments for terminal illnesses that you only have 9 to 12 months to fucking figure out.
The time is even more important, like sacred, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's also precious. I like that better than sacred. But it's also so frustrating because the time lost with like the freeze like impacts so much in the future too. Yeah, no, I mean, so. and a dumb analogy, but if you think about like the writers' strike, like we're not going to have, there's going to be a period of time where like no good movies are coming out because they were on strike and now whatever. It's like the long-term ramifications is what I'm trying to explain. So she was there. She was there for the Brain Act, which is focused a lot on, she specifically was advocating obviously for like increase in funding and awareness and all of that stuff. So she also was specifically meeting with Congress people in Massachusetts to discuss MAIDS, MAIDS. It's medical assistance in dying. It used to be called physician-assisted suicide, but they don't call it that anymore because that's politically incorrect and also just like it doesn't make sense. Like so medical assistance in dying. So basically, there are a bunch of states, not a bunch. There's a handful of states throughout the country where if you are diagnosed with a terminal illness and you were at the end of your road and you don't want to go through like the weeks or months or however terrible the hospice situation is when you lose the ability to speak, to swallow, to
take care of yourself, to go to the bathroom on your own, to walk. Like when it's literally that phase. And when we speak with people who have lost parents or loved ones to terminal illnesses, like the last couple of weeks, like is not how you want to remember that person. So
no, it's hard for the caregiver too. Like,
it's hard for the person and the caregiver. And I think like this act specifically, what our mom is doing and as advocating for so beautifully, is to have that be an option in Massachusetts. Because right now, like if you decide to end your life prematurely, regardless of the death sentence that you've been given, it greatly affects like what happens with your assets, how your family, exactly. It's like, it becomes a whole issue. So it's sort of like, if you don't want to fade to dust, as our dad says, you sort of need to go to one of these other states and figure that out.
Which is like possible. Like there's some near us, like Vermont is one I know, but it's like,
it's just another layer. Like it's another layer to a situation that frankly, like absolutely sucks.
It's also just a choice and like a sense of like dignity too, of like,
it's
like
all
I don't,
choice.
I have a lot of emotions about it. That's why I almost didn't want to talk about it, but like,
sorry.
No, it's fine. But I just think that at the end of the day, it's like, it still would be the individual with the terminal illness or disease or whatever it might be that is like taking like the pill or whatever it is. I think it's a pill. Like it's not, no one else can give it to you. It's like very, very autonomous and very like
you're reclaiming the last bit of your life. Like,
and I think that's important.
And I think that's so, that's exactly right, Haley. Like I think it's for people like that, like pre-brain cancer, pre all of this, Dad had always been like, oh, if I start to lose my mind, like I'm just going to walk into the ocean. Like that was always such a big thing for him, as he was like, I don't want to.
Very anti-DNR.
Literally. he's like, he just didn't ever want to. I think he watched his dad go through the deterioration of having Alzheimer's and dementia, and he didn't want that for himself. So now we're faced with a situation where he is so focused on making it the easiest for us. But I think the easiest thing for us is going to be making sure that he's doing it the right way for him. Yeah. That's sort of how I've been justifying it.
I think that I agree with that too.
So anyway, to bring it back to the advocacy, our mom has done our mom.
I fixed it. Our mom
has done an unbelievable job of just between the Brain Act and maids and pretty much everything, like being just a world-class advocate. And I think
she's always been one.
She's always been charitable, philanthropic. She's always been working at charities, foundations. Like she was at the A Place to Turn, the food pantry in Natick for a million years.
She also literally just texted, especially now that we've moved to Boston, she just texted us today. I just think it's hilarious as we're recording. She's at like the National Alliance on Mental Illness like event on the Commons right now, and she's sending videos of it. Like she's always involved with like community and supporting.
Yeah, and not because it makes her feel better. Like she genuinely wants to help and be a better person, and that's something like I look at her.
Passionate.
She's very passionate, but I look at her and everything that she's able to do, and I'm like, I want to take like. And I think with just this whole journey with Dad and with everything, like I've definitely been going I want to be selfish route. I need to be taking care of me, feeling good about me, and like for sure, also helping in other ways. But I think like her auto is to just automatically be like, I'm going to get involved as much as possible, raise as much money as possible, help my husband, but also help other people. Like she's so focused on just being the best human being on this planet that she can be. And that is so inspiring to me. Like, I don't think I'm anywhere near the level that she is. And I strive to be like that every day.
In your defense, like it's a high ass bar.
It is, but it's amazing. It's like amazing. She's always been like this. And it's,
but you're right. Like in such a like shitty time to be able to actually not even just like continue on with your passion and like being philanthropic and like advocating for other people and like something so important, but like to use that and make it stronger and like share your own experience as in a way that will help people and hopefully help us, but like help others. It's just like really admirable.
She has such a strong voice, and to be able to share that voice and those passions and make them make a difference. Like that's where I think, and we can get into some of the fundraising and stuff that we're doing, because I am really proud of that. And I'm so happy that we're involved in that too. But to like see our mom just like gun it down to Washington, DC, and like schedule all these meetings with Congress people and walk in and like have an agenda and a point of view and a fight. Like it's so impressive.
Also, like, so I was home with our dad, And then she came back, like really early Wednesday morning. I remember because, so I was like sort of like hanging with my dad and then also like taking care of the dog. And my mom texted like super early and she was like, just landed. And I was like, oh shit, like ran downstairs, like cleaned the kitchen, walked the dog, fed the dog. And like, she wouldn't have cared, but I just like was like, oh, I want to make sure like I've taken care of the home. And like, she knows it was in good hands. But anyway, I was joking with dad and I was like, she's going to come in hot. And she did. But like, it was so endearing. Like she was running on literally no hours of sleep, but she was so like, her passion was emulating from her. And she was like, and then I met this person, like the people she met and the connection she made too is like so great for her support system and just like in general, like a little like break from caregiving and a chance to like socialize and like have fun. And that's so fun.
I literally could cry. I love her so
She's so perfect.
I'm like so obsessed with her.
I know.
I like have goosebumps hearing you talk about just her like coming in hot.
Because you can so picture it too. She was like laying on the floor talking about it. And then she was so cute. Like all the friends she made, who I think she said some of them are going to tune into the podcast. So
shout out friends. No, really, like it's again, and I think we go back to this theme all of the time. It is so hard to be going through this situation. And I think like this week specifically for me, and my husband was out of town for work. So Haley came over and slept over one of the nights because I'll wash the sheets well. Because
I slept on your side.
Yeah, I know he gets weird about that. But she came over because I think I was just like, and for no rhyme or reason, I was just having one of those weeks of like, not even self-pity, but I was just like, it is so fucking mind-blowing and dumb that this is happening. Like to anyone. But to anyone, like, I'm not even saying like, oh, just to us. Like, no, it's that this would happen to anyone, that anyone has to go through this. It like hurts me. And I'm just like, there's moments of the day where I forget that this is happening, but they're so few and far between. And then I remember like, oh yeah, like our dad literally has brain cancer. We're on a shortened timeline, and I feel like we do a good job of not thinking about the bad things or the future or the end, or I think we've
at least not 24/7.
In the last couple of months, we've done a better job of it. But I just sort of, this week, I was just sort of like, fuck.
I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
And we always say it ebbs and flows. And I was like, fine this week, so that checks. We always ebb and flow.
Yeah, it was just, it wasn't even like, like I can't get out of bed, I feel depressed, whatever. Because that wasn't it. I was like going a million miles an hour. But while I was going a million miles an hour, in the back of my head the whole time, it was just like, hey, like.
What's the point?
Yeah, kind of. No, and I don't know. I was sad. I was really sad this week, and that's how it is.
Did I cheer you up with our sleepover?
Obviously, you cheered me up. We had a really good time. But anyway, so I don't know why. Well, I think like one of the reasons why I was feeling that way specifically is that a friend and avid follower actually of this podcast, who's been just an amazing resource and an amazing person, lost his mom a couple of weeks ago, and she'd been battling for a really long time. And I just found out the other day that she had indeed passed. And it just sort of like, I don't know, to have seen him be so positive throughout all of this, even throughout the end of her stuff, I was just like, you're so strong. You're so strong. It's amazing. And even being so strong, like it still ends in the same result. And that was just sort of heartbreaking for me. And I've been thinking about him a lot, and it made me sort of like, we haven't recorded in a couple of weeks because busy and whatever. Mm-hmm. And because I didn't feel great this week, I was sort of like, oh, I don't really feel like talking about this. I don't really feel like recording. But I had him in my head being like, listening and telling me specifically what if the podcast was helpful for him and how much he liked listening to just other people's stories. And I was like, okay, if I'm not going to get up specifically this time and do it for myself, like, I want to keep this type of conversation going for people that need it while they're going through it and need it while they're on the other side of it. Mm-hmm. So anyway, well,
that's why we did it in the first place too.
Yeah, it is.
So even if we always dread it first, and then it's fun when we sit down.
I know, we're always like, oh, we have to hang out.
Especially when I do the setup. It's great.
No, this was amazing. But no, anyway, and not to like go far down that. It just, I like to blurt out the things in my mind. I think that's why we did this anyway. So
we know.
There's the blurt.
Blurt.
But anyway, back to sort of, I think one of the other things that we wanted to talk about today was just in the genre and the scheme of advocacy and fundraising and helping, because there's such limited funding right now. I think we've talked about this on the pod before, but just the organization that Haley and I have found and become pretty involved in, Gray for glioblastoma. Do you want to
follow it? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Started and I guess founded by this girl around my age, which is incredible. Kate, she's fabulous. We've sort of created a relationship with her now. And she lost her dad and shares her story, but basically started this nonprofit, amazing foundation that does a variety of things. It's very big on advocacy, obviously. They have merch. We should be wearing our sweatshirts.
I know.
This is like the one day I'm not.
Just thinking about that. I've been living in it. I've had to wash it like 3 times. I haven't washed mine. That's disgusting.
It smells. That's why it's in my laundry now.
Well, it's amazing. She has all of, like, everything she's doing is like incredible. Events. She throws multiple events a year, everything from big galas to
like workout classes.
Exactly, which one of them we're actually attending tomorrow.
Can't wait.
To just all of these different types of fundraisers that are working with influencers, brands, other people who have lost loved ones, parents, siblings, children, even to glioblastoma. So just trying to raise awareness of how little funding and little attention there is for this illness that does not have a cure.
Yeah. And just spread awareness on like literally what it is.
Yeah.
Because I think
I had never heard it when our dad got diagnosed. Yeah. They were like, oh, glioblastoma. And I was like, interesting. And then I Googled it and I was like,
shit.
Fuck.
Don't Google it.
No, literally. They're like, don't Google it. I'm like, come on. Like, I got this. But anyway, yeah, it's an unbelievable foundation. Great for glioblastoma. We've posted a lot of their stuff, I think, in the past, and we'll continue to do that. But Kate and the team are putting on an amazing event in the Hamptons on the weekend of June 6th and 7th.
Stunning event.
6, 7, 8.
It's that weekend. It's on the 7th, I think.
Absolutely stunning event on the Hamptons. That's going to have all these activations, food, speakers, just like an unbelievable, well-curated evening for people who want to join the cause and help this fight.
Yeah.
Haley and I have been working on the committee to help plan it. Unfortunately, neither of us can go, which is just the worst.
Because it's going to be such an amazing event.
Well, it's one of my bestest friends' weddings, so I feel like that's a good excuse.
You do have a better excuse than I do, but I have a trip that I have been planning.
It's fine, we know. But anyway, we're helping. And even knowing that we're not going to be there, just knowing that we can bring in sponsorship or bring in gift bags or just be helpful with auction items, stuff like that. Bring people, anything that we can do to help with awareness, I think, has been a big focal point for us, specifically over the last month. Like, I think we've really pivoted into, okay, we've been doing this, like, how can we really help and how can we really raise money and drive awareness that's beyond our small but mighty, maybe, podcast.
And I think it's interesting because right now it's May and that's like National Brain Tumor Awareness Month.
Yes.
Mom's probably going to correct me. So there's this whole like push of like go gray in May. So gray nails. You can't really see. Emma's are sort of gray. Gray shirt. Oh, I'm wearing a gray shirt.
Good job.
Oh, I didn't even plan it. I have gray toes too, but I'm not going to show you guys that.
I think I have gray underwear on, but no one wants to see that.
We can't show our toes nor underwear on this, I don't think.
Why not toes?
Anyway, I think that has been like a big push, at least for you, and I want you to share what you have started this month. But also just like, it's been over a year. I think we have started to maybe not accept, but just like lock in a little more. Like, I think maybe Mom doing advocacy and things like I'm ready to like do more.
I feel like what I've been feeling now at the year mark of his accident is more like impending doom. Okay. But I think, and like, just to be straight up, but I think to combat that, like, and then I guess I can get into a little of what I'm doing.
Yes, you should.
Even prior to working with the Gray for glioblastoma women who, as we've said, have been just unbelievable. When I turned 30 this year, I wanted to do something, like, in my head I had that I really want to raise $30,000 for turning 30. That would go directly to the doctors and scientists that are treating my dad and working on finding that
like
cure.
At MGH,
at Mass General. So one of his main doctors was a big participant and leader in the CAR-T therapy research, which is, I think at this point there's a couple of different trials being held of like procedures and treatments that could break up tumors and could at least extend life by a couple of years. It's the most promising one that we've seen. And it was sort of all the articles that we were reading when our dad was initially diagnosed. And then lo and behold, he's working specifically with that team that developed that treatment or has been a like front runner across that treatment at Mass General. So I really wanted to be able to raise money that would go specifically to that team, and not just, I mean, of course, the driving reason is because they're treating our dad, but also just because they're so advanced in terms of like the woman who's leading the charge, the doctor who's leading the charge when federal funding was cut was like, it's couldn't be worse timing. Like, we're so close. Yeah. Like, they are so close, and they need now more than any time just funding so they can continue this research.
And like the direct funding to them, like that's so helpful, because I feel like a lot of the times it's big organizations that are receiving it, but that's like it's very
and it could be going anywhere, which is great. We want to end all brain cancer and solve everything that touches this space. But specifically for GBM and CAR T therapy, I was really adamant about raising money for that group. So anyway, I was trying to figure out like, okay, what's like $30,000 turning 30? Like what else is a 30? 30. Like, what else can I, without copywriting ESPN, what else can I do that would like make sense in this fundraiser? Like, is it a comedy show? Is it a race? Is it whatever? My husband pointed out that the circumference all around Manhattan proper, is that Manhattan?
Yeah, I got skinnier by FiDi.
Oh, great job. The circumference all around Manhattan proper is just over 30 miles. I think it's about 32. Yeah. And there's this whole thing called like the Great Saunter, and people like walk the trail every year.
Whatever. I also feel like I've been like seeing people that are like, let's walk the entire length of Manhattan on the Sunday, like on TikTok.
Oh, those people are ambitious. So that's
I'd never do that on a Sunday, but anyway, I'm saying it's a trend for sure.
So I liked that idea, and I put together this mini fundraiser that launched last week. Maybe this week. I think it launched on Monday.
Been a long ass week.
Yeah, it did. I launched it this past Monday.
That's impressive.
Well, we've already raised like $8,000, which is great. Yeah. Or maybe 7. Hopefully I'm not lying. I've been lying a lot.
Anyway, you lie all the time.
Yeah, it's really hard. But so I broke out just the map of Manhattan and broke it out by mile. And the way that this one's going to work is between now and July 16th, which is Glioblastoma Awareness Day, and also the day that our dad was officially diagnosed last year, which is a little weird.
Very, very
spooky. I'm asking people to pick 1 mile, either alone, with a partner, with a group, whatever. Each mile needs to raise $1,000. So if I'm doing my own mile, I'm raising the 1,000 by myself. If me and Haley are doing it together, we're each raising 500, and so on and so on. But each mile around Manhattan is now having a designated person or team to raise that money, wear gray, and then at any given time between now and July 16th, run that mile.
Or
crab walk. Like, we're not precious.
Rollerblade.
No, that's cheating.
Okay, fine.
It has to be by foot. Like drive. No, anyway. So they can
wheelbarrow.
We could wheelbarrow a dad.
No, I meant like the hands and like the legs up.
Literally no. I had to do that this weekend and I got battle wounds. Okay. Anyway. We're derailing. But anyway, so the idea is that everyone's going to be responsible for one of these miles. I'm asking them to wear gray, film like 30 seconds of their run, walk, crab walk, what have you, and
skip.
Sure. And by the end, I'm planning to stitch all of the videos together. So we'll have an entire like Manhattan skyline sequence of people wearing gray and raising money for this disease and for Mass General Hospital. So we have until July 16th. We're about we're a little under halfway to the goal, but again, it's 4 days old. So I'm hoping we can get there. And I am hoping that some big burly men will sign up for the miles that are up in the Bronx, because none of our friends wanted to do that.
My friend's boyfriend and his friends are doing it.
Great. Also, like, it's fine.
It's fine. I go there all the time.
Yeah.
I said to my friends that are doing it, because a lot of them are jumping on it, we're like, I said I'd walk or run with anyone that was doing it.
Yeah, same.
Because, like, I gotta get my steps in.
No, like, I'll do any of them. Like, I've raised my 1,000, I'll do any of them. But, like,
yeah.
But anyway, so it feels like a fun thing that we can do. And then hopefully the visual will help raise awareness. Mm-hmm. And for me, just knowing that I've been able to curate 30,000 to give directly to this doctor and my dad's team, like, that, that stuff, I think, in this doom and gloom and sadness makes things a little bit better.
For sure.
I feel like we're really trying to do something for us and for other people.
I mean, you thought of such a creative way to raise money, and like I love that it's so interactive, because I think so much of like so much in like advocacy, and granted I've taken like 2 advocacy classes at school this year, so like
so you're a genius.
So I am a genius. I'm a math genius and a regular genius.
I'm a math genius.
Why did we used to say that?
You said it.
Oh.
I would be like, oh, Haley, like,
I'm not. I was horrible.
Do you need help in homework? And you were like, Emma, I'm a math genius and I'm going to Dartmouth.
Well, neither of those things are accurate. So
Colgate was fine.
Shit. It was perfect. But I like, I just think so much of advocacy is awareness and like knowledge. And knowledge is power. Like, that's such a cliche, but it's so, so true. And like awareness and just like posting on Instagram, or like getting this video, like someone watches it and they're like, oh, that's cool, everyone's in gray and they're all really cute and running, like, that's awesome. And then they'll look at it and be like, oh, I didn't know about this is interesting. And then maybe find out through their network, like, oh, my best friend's cousin, like, it's so many people are so interconnected with this, unfortunately. But it's like that awareness and understanding and knowledge is so important. So I like that you're doing that in such a creative way, and not just like, hey, like, give us money, which like works. That's amazing. Anyone who's doing that, props to you. But like the more creative way, I just think, in getting people really involved and like excited and like all about it. I'm really proud of it. I think it's awesome.
No, it's amazing. And you have to, like, the second that Dad was diagnosed, he kept saying, we're going to fight the fight. We're going to fight the fight. And I think what he meant was he's going to go through treatment. He's going to stay strong. He's going to have a positive attitude. But fight the fight spans so much bigger than just the day-to-day of trying to get through chemotherapy, of trying to extend your life. I think it is all encompassing of the fundraising, of the meeting people, of spreading awareness, of just creating this community. Yeah, like, this is all the fight. And unfortunately, it's not going to end when our experience is a big word. It's not going to end at the end of a life, whether it's our dad, which hopefully we have more time, or our other friends who have already lost people. Like, if you look at the woman, Kate, who we were talking about, from Grapefruit glioblastoma, she lost her father a bunch of years ago, and she's still fighting this fight every single day. So I almost feel like it's on us to continue all of this stuff, even when it's like not day to day. I mean, it's always going to be day to day affecting us, no matter what.
Yes, like, but I know what you mean. Like, it's not a moment in time. It's sort of
like, this is forever. Like, now this is going to be a cause that is forever important to us and our
friends. We're going to record forever.
Me and you record this podcast forever.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Like, are you going to bring like your baby on here?
I'm not pregnant.
I know, but like,
that'd be kind of cute. Maybe.
And maybe I'll bring my dachshund.
Oh, maybe.
I'm thinking far in the future.
Yeah, I bet all of our many, many, many listeners can't wait to see your dachshund and my baby. Anyway. No, the point being, just like, this is a long journey, and we're really grateful for the people that have been so supportive and have helped us along the way. And really grateful for our mom, as we said, our sister, who's been amazing and continues to edit all of these and really help us from afar, mentally and emotionally. Hi, Lucy.
Miss you.
And grateful for you too. Oh. It's so nice to just be able to have these conversations, and
it is,
and not feel like it's a chore or a burden.
And it might before we sit down, but once we do, it's always amazing. And I feel liberated. But no, I think I'm so impressed with what you're doing, and I've been so excited to share it with people because it's so cool, and just like, I feel like a proud little mom, which is weird because you're a lot older than me.
Not a lie.
You just told her in your 30s. But no, it's amazing, and I am grateful that our family is such fighters, because it's really, really inspiring.
Yeah.
So yeah. Cheers to the fight.
That's all we got.
All we got.
Cheers to the fight. If you're interested in any of the various
The Hamptons
fundraising, volunteer opportunities, any of the events.
Yeah.
We'll have them all linked to our Instagram account, Not Us Podcast.
Definitely give Gray for glioblastoma a follow as well. She's a really big following. It's amazing. Just go check it out.
Absolutely. And yeah, I think we are going to start bringing guests on because
we're boring.
Maybe.
We are going to bring on guests.
Yeah. Just stay tuned. And maybe you'll see a guest, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll see a dachshund, maybe you won't.
Maybe you'll see a baby, maybe you won't.
You will not see a baby.
But like it also might be different guests than just our immediate family, as much as they're amazing.
Just leave an element of surprise.
Okay, fine. I'm bad at that. I don't like surprises. But woo!
Yeah, thanks.
Do you want to end?
As always for listening. Yeah, I do want to end. Oh, really?
Okay.
Bye.